To create a new invoice, navigate to the Customers module and then click the Invoices tab, and then you can click New Invoice from this window. But I should mention, before you can create a new invoice, you also have to choose a default ship method, and you'll be prompted to choose one if you click New Invoice and none is chosen. And then for each customer you can indicate if they are not charged freight, and then on the invoice it gives the order entry person a warning saying they should not charge this customer freight. And then invoice delivery, you have to have either one of these checked, either mail or email or both, of how the invoice should be delivered. And if it's going to be delivered through email, then you need to enter an email address. And then the system does some basic accounting where it summarizes all of the invoices for the customer and then summarizes all of the payments the customer made on invoices, and then shows a balance of what the customer owes. And then you could set a credit limit for a customer, and you can see right now this credit limit is at $1,000. But if we bring this credit down to $100, you can see now that their account balance owed is more than their credit limit, and it shows a warning that they're past their credit limit for order entry people to know not to send this, to create a new invoice and order for this customer at this time. And you could also lock the creation of invoices, where when someone clicks New Invoice, it'll just give the data entry person a warning saying this customer account is past their credit limit, and it just asks, do you want to create an invoice anyway, or they can cancel out. And we'll bring this back up to 1,000 and make that message go away. So now we'll go ahead and click New Invoice to create a new invoice, and this does some basic data entry where it enters the invoice date, the next sequential ID for the invoice ID, the invoice type, because there's different types of invoices that can be created in the system for just credit memos or returns or invoices, but we'll go into a little more detail about that later on. Then the status of the invoice, and you can put a little note for the invoice. So now that we've created this invoice, to actually do data entry, we'll click the small square button to the left of the invoice to navigate to the sales module to do data entry on this invoice. But we'll go into more detail on adding line items to an invoice and choosing lot items for an invoice and doing basic data entry through the choosing inventory items onto the invoice in a future training movie.